Well, new at 11 months after 3 students were shot and killed by a gunman at Michigan State University, the results of an independent review of how MSU police responded to the tragedy has just been released. A closer look at the findings, that is coming up. Good morning, Robin.
We are live outside the Motor City Casino here in Detroit, where thousands of casino workers could walk off the job in about an hour if contract negotiations fail. We've got the latest on how those talks are going in my live reports.
President Biden is preparing to head to Israel. I'm Mallory Rivera in Jerusalem with a look at the escalating war in the Middle East and the ongoing U.S. response coming up.
Working for you. Fox 2 News Live at 11 starts now.
There's so much unfolding in the Middle East, and some of it connects to our communities here in Metro Detroit.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, but there's also a lot here happening at home, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday. I am Brandon Hudson.
And I'm Amy Lange. We begin with new information following an independent review of the mass shooting that killed 3 students at Michigan State University back in February.
Security Risk Management Consultants prepared the 25-page report, and it includes a close look at how MSU police responded to this tragedy. As a part of the executive summary, the report found that in the seconds after the initial call and before other agencies arrived, the response by MSU police officers was appropriate, timely, and correct. The February 13th shooting happened at Berkeley Hall and the Student Union. The gunman, a 43-year-old who wasn't a student and lived in a neighborhood off campus, killed 3 students and injured 5 others, then later died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Now, the report also details recommendations and improvements in 14 different areas, including policies and procedures, communications and leadership coordination, and you can read the entire report on our website, fox2detroit.com. Also this morning, time is running out for Detroit's casinos to reach an agreement and avoid a walkout by unionized local workers.
We have less than an hour here. Wow. The nearly 4,000 union members say that they'll strike at noon if the two sides can't come together on issues such as better pay and improved health care. Fox 2's Robin Murdoch is working this story. She joins us live with the latest. Robin, the clock is ticking here.
Yeah, it is ticking very fast. We are less than an hour away now from that new strike deadline. I can tell you that just a short time ago, we did get an update from the union on how talks are going, and they do tell us that during the nighttime, their team of negotiators, they ended up crafting a counter proposal to submit to the casinos, and at last check, they were still waiting on a response. In fact, it had been more than 6 hours that they have been waiting for a response, and still no movement.
We're calling on these companies to stop gambling with our livelihoods. Detroit casinos should set the standard, not just meet the standard.
And to do that, some 3,700 casino workers here in the city are preparing for a historic moment to go on strike for the very first time ever on Tuesday morning, just hours before the noon deadline. Fox 2 cameras captured crews loading up picket signs outside the Teamsters Union Hall on Trumbull, perhaps a sign of what's to come.
During the pandemic, my son was in the hospital for 203 days in NICU. So maintaining and keeping my health care is what is important to me and what I am fighting for.
This casino valet cashier with 2 children and another on the way is among those who spoke out at a press conference late last week. Union employees at the Motor City Casino, the MGM Grand, and the Hollywood at Greektown are also demanding wages that keep up with inflation and retirement security, citing stats from 2022 that show the 3 casinos combined brought in a record $2.2 billion in revenue.
We sacrifice a lot to make sure that these companies are viable, and when they came through the pandemic, they have not stepped up to the plate. And if we have to go on strike, that's something that we're going to be willing to do to get a fair contract for all of our team members at all 3 casinos.
The Motor City Casino did release a statement regarding negotiations. It says while significant progress has been made, we have not yet reached an agreement with the Detroit Casino Council. We remain committed to bargaining in good faith and achieving a contract that is fair to our employees and allows our company to remain competitive in our industry. The MGM GM Grand Detroit shared this response with us. It says, we intend to continue to operate our business during any potential strike and will remain open this week and beyond. We will continue to offer employees work, and to the extent employees represented by the union choose to participate in the strike, we will take whatever lawful action is necessary to fill shifts and continue providing our customers with entertainment and service. Now, I did reach out to Hollywood Casino at Greektown to get their response to these ongoing talks and have not heard back as of yet. Again, the strike deadline is set for noon today, so we are inching closer to that deadline. Of course, stay with us right here at Fox 2 News, both on air as well as online for the very latest. For now, we are live outside the Motor City Casino here in Detroit. I'm Robin Murdoch for Fox 2 News.
Yeah, Robin, so we know that according to the state, these three casinos made record profits during the pandemic and after the pandemic, and a lot of that was because of the workers who sacrificed their time and their health to keep these casinos open. But what is the financial impact if these workers go on strike?
Well, the union came up with some statistics of their own, and they say every day that there is a strike, some $738,000 in both city as well as state revenue is at risk. And that money is used for things like job creation, for public safety, and to help with youth development programs. So certainly a lot is at stake here if these workers do walk the line in about an hour. Back to you.
We do appreciate it. We will be out there. I know that Scott Wolchek is following on this, and we will check in with him at 12 o'clock. Robin, we appreciate it. Thank you. Amy.
All right, sticking with the strikes. Meanwhile, the UAW strike now in its 33rd day, and the economic impact is soaring. According to Anderson Economic Group, which is based in East Lansing, the strike has cost the auto industry $7.7 billion so far. That includes losses for the big three, dealers, and suppliers. Ford Executive Chairman Bill Ford Jr. addressing the strike at the historic Rouge plant, saying it's time to make a deal.
Many jobs will be lost. So will future investments. We'll lose factories like the one we're in here today, and communities will suffer greatly.
Now, one former insider telling us Bill Ford's words are about a lot more than just getting a new contract. They're about saving the industry.
Ego, the gamesmanship, the tit for tat is a game that we've been playing in this auto industry for decades. So it's very hard for us to get over it. I believe that Bill Ford's speech today was a clear message that we need to get beyond that. We need to push those egos aside, and we need a resolution.
Well, the UAW responded to Bill Ford saying his company needs to stop playing games and get a deal done, or, quote, we'll close the Rouge for him.
And of course, you have thousands of UAW members that are hanging in the balance, and they are now learning that feeding and supporting a family on $500 a week, that is not easy. Now, throughout the UAW stand-up strike, we have seen a united front, both on and off the picket line, and that is where the union's community efforts have come into play, where you have a lot of union members that are relying on community donations. So struggling UAW members, they're turning to a food pantry located inside the UAW Local 900 in Wayne. It features non-perishable food and other essentials.
You come in whenever you can, get what you need off the table. Most of the needs are, it's pretty much everything, but the highest need is baby stuff.
So the food pantry is open 24 hours for striking UAW members. They do not accept cash donations, but they will take gift cards.
And breaking news today in Israel's war against Hamas. Today, the group's military wing says an Israeli airstrike in the central Gaza Strip has killed one of its top militant commanders.
Yeah, this just as the latest report as casualties on both sides continues to grow. Fox's Malden Rivera is in Jerusalem with the latest.
The war between Israel and Hamas is intensifying, and so are the calls for aid to Gaza.
Desperation breaking out as crowds of Palestinians struggle to get food and water. The Gaza Strip has been sealed off from supplies as Israel continues striking neighborhoods in response to the deadly attacks from Hamas more than a week ago.
The vast majority of these casualties are non-combatants, women and children.
Hamas militants are also launching more rockets into Israel. But as Israeli forces continue preparing for a possible ground invasion, officials are warning people still living in northern Gaza to move south.
Until now, hundreds of thousands have been evacuated. Hamas is investing energy to stop the process.
President Biden is set to travel to Israel on Wednesday. Besides reaffirming support for Israel and discussing the release of Hamas hostages,
President Biden will underscore our crystal clear message to any actor, state or non-state, trying to take advantage of this crisis to attack Israel. Don't. To that end, he's deployed 2 aircraft carrier groups and other military assets to the region.
this comes as tensions are rising between Israel and the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah. The two sides have been exchanging fire for days now, as U.S. officials worry an Israeli invasion into Gaza could expand the war to new fronts.
During his visit, President Biden will also discuss Israel's future military operations to ensure they minimize the amount of civilian casualties in Gaza. In Jerusalem, Mather Rivera, Fox News.